Hello. So today Patty wanted me to make a video like explaining the bomb strats for 5 stars and Sundered uplands, and I just wanted to go over some extra things and include some tips, so that'll be in there. I'll have a timestamp down there for you, Patty, if you just want to skip to that, or if anyone else wants to skip around, there'll be timestamps. Otherwise, I'm gonna go over like some basics real quick. So these keys are more of like a bonus on top of it. You don't really need them, but they're nice to have, really. So if you can't afford them, don't go out of your way to get them, really. Otherwise, if you're looking for C4, this is definitely the best method in my opinion. Even if you don't open the chest, it's still the best. Every small chest in U11 from these 5 stars, they each have a chance to get 5 star, and or not 5 star, they each have a chance to give a crystal 4. Which it's pretty common in my experience. Otherwise, for the keys, like the keys are pretty expensive, especially on the Flux early game. Otherwise, it's like you do get another chance at C4, and then you have a chance to get your keys back. You can get Sundered crystals, the Phoenix mode, sustain frags. So if you're trying to hunt, then I'd make them just because it'll save you time. Otherwise, if you don't really care as much and you're just here for like C4, you're just here to get your weeklies, don't worry about the keys. Honestly, just save the keys until you're like worried about it. Unless you're just looking for C4, then pop them on whatever chest in U11. But in terms of finding the dungeons, they are not the best. Like, as you'll see later on in the video, I found like 4 right next to each other. That is a one-off thing that will never happen again. So, yeah. When you find the tower one, it's a lot better than the ship one in my opinion, just because it's more open, it's easier to see all the dungeons, easier to remember everything is, and it's just more accessible. Otherwise, you do need a lot of light for these, especially for the U11 ones. Otherwise, if you're just trying to farm like Watson or Sundered, you might want to go to U10 if you're trying to get their trophy, just because you can go up to 73 waves instead of just 17. So there's also that to keep in mind. And then I just wouldn't go for any bosses I wouldn't go for any of the Dream Monster bosses, honestly. Because if you pull one of those trophies, it's just kind of annoying. Because thinking about the fact that you could have pulled a Watson or Sundered just kind of kills the mood. I pulled, I think, like something like 6 or 7 trophies, and they've all been Dream Monsters. So it really does suck. Let's see what this boss is. So basically, just want to hop in, come down here, get the first skulls done. And keep in mind, these boxes don't always drop gem boxes, they don't always drop the best loot, but at least these small boxes can drop you C4. I have gotten it multiple times. I've gotten C4 from here a lot. Me and a couple people have come to the conclusion that it's pretty based on Magic Find, which sucks for new players, just because it's just going to be even harder. But I do pull a lot versus like other people who spent a lot of time and they just pull nothing. So it is pretty frustrating, but it is a lot more common here than I ever got from Geode Topside. Let's see, from Delves. Like, it's just so much better here. This is what I always recommend whenever someone asks. So another bad boss, but I'm gonna skip on to the actual video after this. And if anyone wants to let me know if you want to see anything, feel free. I'll try to be more consistent. Just haven't really had too much to do on here, to be honest. But other than that, I'll catch y'all later. Peace. So I just want to pop in and give a couple quick tips about this dungeon. Obviously the video is more focused on the other one. This one's a lot better in my opinion, just because it's easier to manage, easier to remember where everything is, faster to get to. But in other words, in terms of bombing, you don't really have to bomb this one that much if you want to. Just bomb open like the center a little bit, just so you have easier access in. Usually only throw like 1 bomb, just so I have a little way in, way out. Otherwise, a couple things to keep in mind. From the moment you start the console, so like every spot you see a boss or a cursed skull, there will always be one there for this dungeon. So right here, guaranteed can be a boot next. Up here, there's guaranteed can be another boss, and this is actually a really good one. A general rule of thumb is the more bosses, the faster you can get through it. Because, like, obviously I'd have to sit there and do all the cursed skulls. Instead, I can just run through killing everything. But, at the same time, it's kind of the opposite when it comes to more mid-game, end-game. End-game, you want bosses because you can easily kill everything, and then you don't have to sit here doing the cursed skull. But, like, mid to early game, you kind of want cursed skulls because it takes less light, easier to manage, and the bosses just ramp up in light pretty quickly, and then get pretty hard to kill. So those are the main two things. Another thing you can do is really just, if you want, you can put like blocks over which ones are wrong or which ones are right, whichever way you want to go. I don't do any of that either. I just kind of memorize where everything is. And then the final tip I'd say for this dungeon especially is, if you come over here, if it's not there, it'll be in this corner. You throw a bomb all the way down there and start the console. So everyone's being lazy, no one's going down there and starting it. There you go. Walk over to the corner, throw a bomb. Since it's Dream Monster, I'm not going to waste my keys. I'm not looking for C4. But since it's Dream Monster, I usually dip at 3. I don't wait for the rewards. You don't get anything good. So I'm going to hop back on my Lunar and go look for a different one. And yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. I'd really look for Watt or Sundered. If it's not those two, it's just kind of not worth it. In my opinion, unless you're trying to like sand frags, your Phoenix modes, or you're trying to get C4, it doesn't matter as much. But even then, personally, I'd rather have the chance at a good boss like Sundered or Watson. Here's a ship one. Okay, perfect. So for this one, let me go ahead and get in. This is the boss room right here. So this dungeon just kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, but you have 6 different spawning places. So there's a room here, there's a room on the other side, right over here, right? And then to get to the other ones, you have to go through a bunch of mazes over there and over there, which no one likes to deal with. So what you do is you come here, you just bomb right here, throw a couple bombs, you'll break out. Right there is a perfect corner. You drop down here, you see this little square, bomb right above it. There'll be some unbreakable blocks, like right here that I'm standing on. All these right here, these are unbreakable. So just break like a little bit above it. This is another room. Come up here, use your bomb right here. This like kind of broken square, you bomb right above it. There's another one. Then you come back and you do the other side. Now this just saves you a lot of time because you don't have to go through the maze and you don't get lost like at all. And then it's just the opposite of the other side. So you come here, you bomb this. Whenever I get this room, I usually like to bomb that out just so it's not so annoying. Jump up here. I threw that way too high, but right there. I like to have the entrance just a little bit bigger, just so that when other people are here, they can notice it, because a lot of people don't do this. And then I'll give you like the basis of how I run this route, really. So basically, you start the console. I like to check this room. There's one here. And if you want, if you know there's just a skull here and you're going to be here for time, you can just bomb out right there. And that just saves you like half a second, really. Because instead of having to walk out and go around, you can just go straight. I like to jump up. Cursed skull here. Only there were bosses, save me some time. Drop down here, nothing here, so now I can remember, never go down there, there's nothing there. Hop over here, check this room, perfect. So that means there's just one more over on the other side. And then I just have to figure out if it's top or bottom. So I'm going to go up top first, and then drop down bottom, just because I think it's faster. In case it is up top, if it's not at the bottom, then you have to bomb your way and get back up. So like starting with the top, working my way down, it is top, perfect. And now the bad thing about this dungeon is, oh no, there's one in both. I guess I miss. Okay, yeah, there was only one on the other side. I'm dumb. So yeah, there's 2. But the bad thing about this is that it's 5 cursed skulls. So for me, this is going to take absolutely forever to complete, especially solo. So let's see, we've got Frostbitten, Dream Monster. So perfect. I don't care about this boss. I'm just going to leave. But I don't know why I opened that. Honestly, I have no idea. That was just dumb. But basically, let me just kill one more time and then leave this one. You don't have to do this, but it's not worth it fighting these bosses. And if you want the rewards, you can stay till time runs out, get your rewards. Otherwise, there's one right there. Perfect. And these dungeons are like super uncommon, so don't get fooled by me finding 3 this fast. They are incredibly rare to find. Let's see if this one is same concept. This one just has walls. I hate these walls, so I just bomb those out, honestly. Same with this one. It's just annoying. They get in the way. You don't really have to worry about it. Then, same thing, go to console, just bomb straight out. Obviously go a little bit further if you don't want it to be like way off to the side. Basically you can line up with this wall and just bomb out. Sorry about that, jeez. Bomb out right here and you'll be perfect. And then you do that on both sides. But these are the only 2 5-stars. Hopefully they add some better ones, honestly, or just make more bosses. Just bomb that out, because it's just annoying. Break the console, jump down here. First skull. I wouldn't start the console until you have it fully bombed out, just in case you're not comfortable with it yet and you like accidentally run out of time somehow or something like that, you know. Just keep it safe. And now people might ask why would you run these, right? So one of the big things is the fact that you get, well, there's a few big things. One of them is the fact that you can get this dragon, the stained dragon, and then you get phoenix motes, which you'll use for a lot of recipes and other stuff. Otherwise, let me check this. Those you can get from killing the boss. You get a chance, and then when you open the big chest at the end with these keys, you also get another chance. But in my opinion, the biggest reason you should run this is if you're looking for C4. These dungeons in particular, not this one in general, but 5-stars here in Sundered in U11, these are where I get the most C4 out of any place. I grind lots of Geo topside 5-stars, and those I don't get nearly as much. So I have a couple streams where I was doing a bunch of these, and I did two of these back to back, and going to wave 11 on U11, 5-stars, right? I pulled 6 C4 from 2 dungeons, 3 in each. And I was opening the chest every time, but otherwise these small chests, if I can pull one, it'll be nicer to show it, but guaranteed 100% you can get them from these small chests, so that's something to keep in mind. Otherwise, there's another bird dream. So it sucks that these are like the most common. It really does suck because it just makes this such a longer process. But otherwise, if you do open that big chest right there, you do have a chance at C4. Otherwise, I tend to get it more commonly from the small chests. But if you have the keys, why not spend them? For this boss, you just have to wait for him to spawn lava. And then once he touches it, he'll be vulnerable. Otherwise, that one's the worst boss, just because he's immune. Basically, you only do 1 damage. But yeah, when you're farming these, I definitely recommend you have like a Lunar Lance or a Shadow Hunter, just something speedy on hand. Ready to find a new one. And then the next benefit of running these is that you can pull mounts, allies, and all that good stuff from the bench. So basically, I've ran a lot of these. Here's another one. Wow, these are so close. That is crazy to me. But I've ran a lot of these, and I've only ever pulled 1 ally. It was a really good one, to be fair, and I did need it, so I equipped it for mastery, but it was the Tease Up or something. So I think it was like the Watson ally. But if you pull one of those, like just anything, you can make a lot of Flux. Jeez, my throat. But you can also pull the trophy, which if you pull a Watson or a Sundered trophy, like let's just look at the prices. What? Okay, there's none up, but it's usually around like 20 mil. Not that it guaranteed sell for that much, but it probably would, honestly. Sunder, another 20. Sometimes drops down to like 10, which I think is a more fair price. Still pretty expensive, but fairer, I guess. So if you pull any of those, it's just a huge payday, but they're incredibly rare. I've never pulled either one, so that's also something to keep in mind of. Otherwise, those are the main benefits of this, and then if you want your weekly crystal rewards, you go to wave 17 on U11 ones. Otherwise, for U10 ones, you just go to wave 73, which it's really annoying, and it's a slow process, but you do get a lot of undercharged crystals at the end of it, which can help you make converters, get you the mounts in the bench, and a couple other things, so that's the final thing to really keep in mind. So I'm gonna see what boss this is, and then it's probably all from me. Let's see. And then when you open that big chest at the end with these keys, you have a chance to get Sundered crystals. It's pretty rare and you only get one, but it's also something you can do. Otherwise, you can also get your key back, which I'll open these chests, see if I can get one just to show it. Of course, this stream, it's burnt, so I have to wait. Spawn your lava. Come on. This boss is by far the worst one. Alright, open it. I got a Phoenix Mote and a Sundered crystal, but no key. Usually you just want to get a key back, honestly. If you're looking for motes, if you're looking for stand fragments, like, nice. If you're looking for C4, you know, that'd also be a nice bonus, but I just want the keys back, honestly. And no key again, but it's usually pretty common, to be fair. Otherwise, yeah. That's pretty much all there is for me. And thanks again, Patty, for having this suggestion. Sorry it took me so long to get this out there. It's just been grinding more frames to update a whole lot. And yeah, that should be all for me, so peace.